Hare Krishna, welcome to the Dham podcast, your favorite Hare Krishna lifestyle podcast. I am your host, Prema. And before we get started today, I just wanted to share my condolences with disciples, friends, and well-wishers of Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who, if you didn't know, he passed away on May 5th. Rather unexpectedly, he left his material body. And I know what it's like to hope against hope. And even though things seem very dismal, you're begging Krishna for a prayer, for a miracle. And nothing happens except the unfortunate. And you wish more than anything that something wonderful could happen and everything goes back to normal, and it doesn't. I know what that's like. And I just want to say I'm really sorry. And it doesn't really get better, at least if you're an emotional person like me. Doesn't get easier, but somehow we manage. And I just want to say that if you need to talk, you have questions, I'm here. So with that being said, I hope you all are great and doing well this week and hanging in there for a lot of you. As you can see, I am in another place. I am in Minnesota now. I'm visiting my family for the summer. It's a little bit too hot in Mayapur, so I'm just sitting in a corner of my room shooting this podcast because I just wanted to check in with you all today. My trip, the travel was good. It's just me and Padma that went. My husband stayed back in Mayapur. And Padma is a surprisingly good traveler, like for a 4-year-old. Game face. We got to do game face, So I'm like, Padma, all right, here's what's happening. We're going to do a lot of traveling. We got to take 3 planes. We're going from this place to this place and this place to da-da-da-da. So, and then she's like, yeah, and she's like, ready. And I'm like, you got to help me find the gates. And she's at an age where she recognizes like numbers and letters. So she'll look for like C27 or whatever. And, no matter how tired she was, because it is exhausting. We travel about 25, 26 hours. Actually, one of our flights was late, so it ended up being about 30. But despite all of it and the exhaustion, she was so good. So good. She's so great to travel with. And I'm really grateful for that. Tell me if this is crazy, okay? So, surprisingly, okay. So, to get to Minnesota, to leave India, to do anything, you have to drive from Mayapur to Calcutta and then take a flight from there. So surprisingly, the drive was quite good. Normally, it's like bumpy and chaotic, and there's a lot of winding and weaving. And I'm not a person that gets car sick, and I normally get really car sick. But they have fixed the highways. So what is normally a 4-hour drive turned into about a 2.5-hour drive. Super good and very smooth roads. So we ended up getting to the airport super early. Like we had to bum around the Calcutta airport for like 4 hours. So we're just sitting and we're having a little snack and, watching a little something on the phone or the iPad or whatever and just chilling, right? And then, there's 2 men sitting across from us. Okay. And they each have like a backpack and a duffel bag. I'm not thinking anything. We're having our little aloo paratha, relaxing, having a good time. But then they suddenly leave. And they leave the duffel bag and the backpack behind. Okay, maybe they had to go to the bathroom and come back or something, right? Not a big deal. An hour passes by. And they do not come back for this duffel and this backpack. And we're sitting right next to the security checkpoint. Okay, so there's a bunch of military dudes there and TSA agents. I don't know who was working there, but they're working there, right? So I'm next to the security. These two dudes leave their backpacks for over an hour. And it's me and my daughter and all these people in this busy airport. So tell me, okay, we've already gone through security and everything. So tell me, should I have told something to one of the guys working there, to one of the security people? So I'm like a little nervous. I'm like, well, they already went through the security checkpoint, so maybe it's fine. But then why are you leaving your luggage for an hour? Don't you have a flight? What if they forgot it? What if it needs to go somewhere? So it's just bothering me. And you know I have anxiety. So I'm like freaking out in my head and my heart. I sort of Google it. Like, am I supposed to say something if it's already been through security? And then I decide, you know what? I'm going to say something. I go to the guy, handsome dude with a little mustache thing going on, cute. And I'm like, look, these two dudes have left this backpack and this duffel bag. It's been over an hour and it's just been sitting here. I don't see them around. So then he's like, okay. So then he goes to the luggage. He looks at the name. For some reason, this person put their name on the duffel bag. Do you put your name on things? I don't put my name on anything. I tie like a piece of dhoti cloth or a little piece of something on it. I'm like, that's how I know it's mine. This person's name is Abdul Rashid. Okay, am I Islamophobic now? I didn't know he was Muslim. His name is Abdul Rashid. Does it make me seem Islamophobic? I'm not trying to be. I'm just worried because there's two duffel bags, a duffel bag and a backpack, sitting right in front of me next to the security checkpoint. I was trying to save a life that day. So the security guy looks at the tag, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to check the CCTV cameras. Cool. I sit down. He comes back. He's like, yeah, the guys are just sitting over there somewhere. I was like, okay. And then he goes, don't worry, we've checked all this luggage already. And I was like, okay. I said, okay. Because in my mind, I know that these people check my luggage. And I've sort of made it a point to try and hide things that they would normally take out as a challenge. These people don't check my luggage good. You know how many times I've hidden scissors, knives, pins, all kinds of stuff. They never take it out. So that was a little concerning. But anyway, it was fine. The guys ended up coming back. They took their luggage and stuff and they left. So that was kind of the highlight of that whole trip. And now we're just relaxing here. It's like 120 degrees in Mayapur and it's like 40 degrees here. So huge difference. Did I only pack summer clothes? Yes, I did. That was stupid. I should not have done that. Other than that, that's kind of been the highlight of this trip so far, is me being an idiot, I guess. Or maybe being safe. I was trying to save a life. I'm just wanting to check in with you all. See how you're doing. Say hi. I'm trying to be regular with posting these podcasts. So what I'm going to do, I just have 3 questions left from the questions you all submitted to me on Instagram. So now we'll start our segment called Sage Advice, where you send me questions and I do my best to answer them, but please don't just take it with a grain of salt, really, honestly. So one question you asked is, how would you describe your style or favorite aesthetic? Basically, if it fits, I put it on. That's my style. I don't really have a sense of style, I think. Like, some people are very clearly, goth, or very clearly like preppy, or very clearly like, I don't know. I don't consider that I have a sense of style, a certain particular aesthetic. I also just do whatever I put on. Like, I remember when I was in high school and it was like every day I would do a different style. Like one day I would have like, I'd wear all black and put on like a big silver chain thing, and I was like, yeah, I'm goth. And then like, no, I'm not. And then another day I'd have like my sweater over my shoulders and I'd be like, yeah, I'm really preppy today. But I really don't. Even like my saris, like if you give me a sari, I put on the sari. Like, there's nothing where I'm like, well, this isn't really my style. No, they're all my style. All saris are my style. So I don't really have a style or a favorite aesthetic. But I'll say this though, like, and I think it's because I'm not good at shopping. And like, one thing that I'm trying to do is like be a little bit more adventurous with my clothing and just like go shopping. Because if I go shopping normally, I will just buy a plain shirt and some leggings and just be a floppy old mom. And I'm trying not to be a floppy old mom. I am aiming for hot mom summer. I was like hanging out with some kids and they're like, you need to have hot mom summer. And I was like, okay, girl. And I don't know, I just thought it was so funny, like hot mom summer. Yeah, I need that in my life. I'm tired of not being a hot mom. I'm tired of being a floppy mom. What is it called? A blobfish mom. So I'm trying to dress better and like pick out nicer clothes. And clothes that flatter me, I suppose. So I don't know. So and it can be in any aesthetic as long as it looks good. So that's kind of where I am right now with my clothing journey. Another person asked, what is your favorite color? Blue. I love all the colors except green. Green I don't like. Green doesn't look good on me. Green is not like so pleasing to me. I mean, I like seeing on trees and grass and stuff, but like green is not a great color. But I like all the other colors. Favorite color is blue. My sister was once like, what adult has a favorite color? And I'm like, she's like, who has a favorite color? Like, I don't have a favorite color. And I'm like, you have a favorite color. You know, like, I feel like if you want to know what your favorite color is, right? When you go somewhere, you're like buying clothes or shopping or whatever, what is your eyes drawn to? That's how you know. I am always drawn to blue. I have like 60 saris in my closet. 30 of them are blue. Every time I go to the store, I'm like, oh, this is cute. Is it in blue? Or I'll be like, I don't have a blue thing. And then I go home with it and I have many, many, many blue things. Blue is my favorite color. It just is. I look good in all the colors though, so I'll wear anything. So maybe think about it. If you want to know what your favorite color is, go somewhere and like try buying it in a color that is visually pleasing to you. And that's your favorite color. Easy peasy. So this question says, please can you tell me as devotees, what are the duties and obligations we must have toward a parent who may have been a toxic parent all my life, but now have become good to me in their old age as they need me. It's not right for me to be selfish, but it's difficult to forget the injustices they did to me. So, first of all, I'm really sorry. And that sucks so bad that they were not good to you. I don't know what they did to you. I don't know this person. This was anonymous. It sucks that they did you wrong. And then now you're being put in a certain position where you're not sure if you can fulfill your duty as a child or as a devotee. That blows. I'll say this. I don't know what kind of abuse you went through or the injustices. I'm not sure. If it was like child abuse type stuff, you know what I'm talking about, like the serious stuff. You probably need your space because you probably need to be in therapy. You probably need to get over what's happening. You need to keep some distance. But if we're talking about like the general Indian narcissistic parent type thing, the guilt tripping, the never good enough, the never, I know I'm minimizing it, but like I'm just saying like this is something that a lot of like Indian kids have gone through. As a devotee, if you look at Shastra, we are all about forgiveness. We forgive people. We don't forget. We forgive. And our goal and mission always is to help people go to Krishna. And if you function in that capacity, it might help you. you say, I'm going to put this out right now because these are two people who are in their old age or deathbed or whatever, and they need to reach Krishna. No matter what they did in the past, they need to reach Krishna. And you give them prasad, and they listen to Krishna Katha and do kirtan and have devotees in your home and stuff like that. So that I think is what a devotee would do. Is that despite everything, they would still try to preach and still try to expose them and help them become as Krishna conscious as possible. Because your primary duty is not to your parents or anybody. Your primary duty is to Krishna once you become a devotee. And that would entail helping people who need help in a Krishna conscious way. So I know it's tough sometimes when you remember the things they did or remember the things that they said. And you definitely, if you're not in therapy, go to therapy for that. Read some self-help books. Try to work it out. Journal about it even. Whatever. Somehow try to find a way to work through it, because the worst thing you can do is live with that anger and that depression and that frustration your entire life. And what's wonderful about Krishna consciousness is it's not just I chant and dance and eat prasad and life is great. We belong to a religion of self-reflection, where we can see what are our qualities, what are things that we struggle with, and see how we can improve. And we ask Krishna to help us and to guide us. You never know what could happen. And I'm not saying that this will happen, but you could care for your parents, be Krishna conscious, give them Krishna consciousness, and they may thank you for it. They may apologize for it, for all the things that they did in the past. They may not also, but either way, you're not looking for that. But I say help, especially if they're making it easier on you by being nice to you for whatever reason. And I think sometimes it really helps to put yourself in the position of the other person. For you, they were toxic, and for them, they could have been doing the very best that they can. I read that in a self-help book by Wayne Dyer called Pulling Your Own Strings, and it really stood out to me, where he said, your parent may have been a drug addict or an alcoholic or whatever, but even then, they were literally doing the best that they could, even if the best that they could was not very much. But for them, it was all that they could do, because they were struggling too. So, consider it that way. Talk with your parents sometimes, and you'll find out that maybe they're doing the things that they're doing because they had toxic parents, and they had abusive parents, and they thought that they were doing better. So, again, that really sucks. I hope you do figure out what to do. If it was me, for me personally, past is past. Here's two people now who have come to me and asked for help, and I have to help them. And then try to work through whatever feelings you have toward them somehow. That's my advice. That's what I would do. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult for you to have relationships with other people also if you can't get over the trauma that you had previously. It will resurface itself again. So I encourage you to please work out your trauma, to please get help somehow, so that you can move on and that you could do better. So that's my advice. Anyway, but thank you for sending me that question, and thank you all for sending questions. I'm going to sign off here. I know it's a little bit short. I don't have a lot to say. We'll catch up more next week. But please be sure to check out the links below to find out more. You can watch the podcast here on YouTube and listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Thank you everyone for watching. Be good to each other and be good to yourselves. And thank you for being damn good. Here it is, this week's harinam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.